I was tired. I don't know what happened, but I took a huge nap, and I just woke up. I was supposed to be on a while ago. I was supposed to be on a while ago, man, and I knocked out, man. Oh goodness. I like just got out of bed, dude. And I'm like, I have date night tonight, so I can't like go on later. And so I'm just trying to like make it through right now. I'm tripping. Anywho, how's everybody doing today? Is everybody doing well? Is everybody doing well today? I'm like I said, I'm kind of out of it. I actually just poured a cup of coffee. So I'm just kind of catching up. But how are you guys doing today? It was a very, very good nap. I will say, as far as naps go, it was exceptional. What if you disagree or don't know the arguments for and against? Well, then you don't disagree. If you don't know the arguments for or against, then you don't disagree. You just have feelings, I guess. Exhausted. Sorry to hear that. Polly, it's my birthday today. I look forward to making me laugh. Happy birthday. Can we get huge W's in the chat for Queen V? Can we get big W's in the chat and happy birthdays in the chat for Queen V? It is her birthday. She's turning 21 today. Queen V is turning 21 years old today. So let's give big W's and happy birthdays in there for Queen V. And Flower, it was her birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to you too. Queen V is 21 years old today. I'm pretty sure it's accurate. Yeah, she's just a baby. Just a baby. Y'all, as you guys are coming in, can you guys come in and double tap that screen? I appreciate it. If you're coming in on the YouTube side, if you go up to the top, hit that like button. I would really appreciate that. Oh my goodness. We're gonna open up phone lines, all that fun stuff, like real soon, and get to some conversations and some debates and some fun, some banter, some might say. We're gonna get to all of that stuff. All right. We're gonna get to all that stuff. We're gonna have some fun. So right now we're just getting into the live. We're just getting things moving. Tara, it's 49th anniversary of your 21st birthday. Exactly. I don't know which anniversary it is for Queen V. All right, but it's definitely an anniversary of her 21st. I'll tell you that much. I'm here. What's up, Ben? I'm glad you're here. I'm very glad you're here. I was really worried, Ben's Roblox. I was very concerned. I was sitting there and I logged in and I was like, man, I hope he's here. I was, whew. And now you're here. So we can all relax. I can turn off the search party. I can turn off the search party. Wild most of the world. Okay, so I can drink coffee either way. I can drink coffee black or with shit in it. If it's good coffee, I can drink it black. I definitely can't stand it. If it's bad coffee, I can't drink it black. But I prefer my coffee like with some. Why are you being mean? I'm not being. That's mean. Low Zim, I'm letting you know if you thinking that what I just said to Ben was mean, you should you should probably just go now. Cause that was just me being nice and joking around. So if that's mean, then like, dude, you're gonna have a rough next 2 hours in my life. Okay? You're going to have a really rough next 2 hours of my life if that was considered mean to you. See, that's the thing. Ben's Roblox said they're saying that's not rude. Because Ben's Roblox is obviously a fan, so knows me, so knows that I'm not being mean on that, right? Knows I'm not being mean on that, right? Which is like I'm just, yeah, exactly, Corey. Like, you're gonna have a real rough time if that you thought that was mean, okay? Like, you're gonna have a real bad time. You need another pronouns. Oh, anyways, back to the coffee. I can drink coffee black. It doesn't bother me to drink coffee black. I can if it's good coffee. But I prefer my coffee with some sugar and some like French vanilla fucking oat milk creamer in here. Like, that's how I prefer it. I want it to be sweet like me. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be sweet like me. How do I like my new job? Thank you so much for asking. I like my new job quite a bit. The only thing I dislike about my new job is the start time. I have to be up early as fuck in the morning. I have to be there. I have to start at 6 a.m. And so that it's really early. But besides that, I love my new job. I think it's great. I think it's absolutely awesome. All right. Well, I can already see people are starting to blow up the phone lines, so we're gonna go ahead and open up the phone line so we can get this thing started. Amazon warehouse? No, I wouldn't work for Amazon. That's not something I could. That's not something I could do. Hi, welcome to Live. How are you today?
What's up, bro? Good.
Awesome. How old are you?
25.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
I do.
Awesome. Why is that?
Because his stance with Israel.
Corey, it's not
along with other things.
Corey, it's not that it's bad. It's just I'm getting used to it. Does that make sense? You know, like, it's not that it's bad. It's just I'm getting used to it. I don't mind it. I like the job. It's just when you're not used to being up at that time of morning, it's just hard, you know, at first.
Yo, I have a question for you.
What?
So, what do you think about how this whole Albrego Garcia thing turned out? That a grand jury indicted him and all this shit now. I mean, you guys got what you wanted. You wanted due process. Now your hero is going to be going down badly.
First of all, I don't have heroes like that, sir. Second of all, okay, I want due process before someone's punished.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Come on, bro, listen. Why can't you just concede that you and the left fucked up on this one? Like, bro, I was just speaking to a friend of mine.
Sir, stop talking. Anyways, I don't care about you and your friends.
It would be nice if you let me finish my sentence.
I don't care. So anyways,
I also don't really give a fuck what you say.
Exactly. I don't give a fuck what you say either. So I'm going to finish my statement.
If you tell someone,
sir, I am about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There you go. Good job. Now that we're nice and quiet, okay. What I was saying was the entire point behind the thing is that he did not get due process before he was sent to a prison. Okay,
fake news.
And I'm still talking. Thank you. He did not get due process before he was sent to this prison in El Salvador. So now he's getting indicted, and I think that that's totally fine. If they have enough evidence on him to indict him on a crime, I 100% support that. And if he did the things, I'm still talking, sir.
Are you questioning our grand jury?
I'm still talking, sir.
Are you questioning the due process?
I'm still talking.
Oh,
but yeah. When I'm finished talking, then you can ask. Then you can ask questions. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Perfect.
Sure.
So once he's indicted, if he's convicted by a jury of his peers, and he was, convicted of committing the crimes that they're saying that he committed, then I hope that he goes to prison. And then after he goes to prison, I hope that he is deported to a country that's not El Salvador per the order. Okay. My problem is that he was sent to prison first. Okay. That's the issue.
Good.
Okay. So that's all.
Very good. Very good. Now, don't listen. I watched a few of your streams here and there. Listen, you were saying something completely different before.
No, I
Listen,
wasn't.
I'm gonna put it to you this way.
No, I
Like
wasn't.
I said, I was talking to a friend of mine.
Dude,
He's
I
on
don't
the
care
left,
about
just
your
like you. He's
friends.
your hero.
I don't
Uh,
care about your friends, and I
yo,
don't have
okay. It
heroes.
would
I
be
already
nice
said
if you
that.
stopped cutting me off
Then
while
I
I'm
need you to
talking.
stop lying about me. If you're gonna lie about me,
Okay,
I'm gonna say something because no, I have
okay,
not said anything different. Then I
okay.
want Kilmer Abrego Garcia to have due process according to the law.
Yo,
And I've said 100 times that if he committed a crime, I want him put in prison. I've said that a
good.
hundred times.
Yo,
Third of all,
I saw your girls. I saw your girls stream.
I just
Yo,
said two
listen,
minutes
listen,
ago. No,
listen. Shut
I
the
just
fuck
said
up
two
a
minutes
minute.
ago. I just said 2 minutes ago that I don't have heroes when it comes to that thing. And I already said I don't care about your friend because just because you have a friend that claims to be on the left doesn't mean that they have anything to do with me whatsoever. So why
Oh
don't you
well,
respond to the point
he's
that I
agreeing
actually
with what
made,
you're
okay?
saying still after he was indicted, so he's still on your side on this one. Okay, listen, I heard
You don't know
one
what
of
my
your
side
girls
is.
streams for a little bit. Yo, she's actually chill. Like she lets people talk. She's not a little bitch like you. You're like a little pussy, bro. She got bigger balls than you, bro. Like let people fucking talk. Stop
Man,
threatening people to hang up.
you know what
If
would
you want
help?
to have interesting
I heard if you
conversations,
cried about it, that would help,
if
dude.
you want to
You
have,
should try
listen,
crying about it.
listen,
I heard that
listen,
really
listen.
helps.
I
Yeah.
promise you, if we were in
No,
person, you
dude.
would be my little bitch. You
Well,
would
sir,
literally be my little
I'm
bitch.
not a moron like
I
you,
would
so
make you my bitch.
I wouldn't go to
I
prison
know
like
you're
you.
your girl's bitch because she's the man of the house and she's
Sir,
more respectful.
I understand that you would
Listen,
end up in prison because you're not too bright. I don't commit crimes like that, so you would have to be somebody
yeah,
else's
I
bitch, okay?
wouldn't commit
Now,
crimes. I would say you just show me respect in person. Over the phone, you think you're a tough guy.
sir, please stop crashing out and crying like a child. Okay, awesome. I don't care what you think about like my personality. It really means absolutely nothing to me. So either move
No,
on
it's
with
not
the
your personality. It's
sir.
just
I'm
your
gonna say one more
behavior is
time.
horrible. Your
I am gonna say
behavior is
this
like a
one
fifth
time. If
grade
you can't
behavior.
listen, I am hanging up.
You see?
Either move
Just
on with
like
the
that.
political point or go away.
All right. If you let me finish a sentence, we
But
can
you're
move
not
on.
saying sentences about political points. You're crying because I
I
hurt
was
your
getting to
feelings,
it, but
and
I was
you're
getting to
happy
it.
because my girlfriend didn't hurt your feelings, and you think I
No, no, I
give a
never
fuck.
spoke to her. I
Okay,
never spoke to her. I never
move
spoke to your girl.
forward or fuck off.
Okay, first of all, just to make something clear, and I'm going to move forward right now to a different political point. I never spoke to your girl. I just saw a few.
All right, that does not sound like a political point to me. So I'll just reopen up the phone lines to somebody who can control their emotions a little better. Goodness gracious, that was kind of sad. Interesting take on things, though. Hello, how are you?
Yo, you the YouTube guy?
The YouTube guy. I'll take that. Sure. What's going on, man? How are you doing? Welcome to the live.
Hey, yo, what's up? I just
Awesome. How old are you?
wanted to say honestly, have y'all seen that thing where two Chinese guys were caught trying to smuggle in the fungal thing, like the fungal bioweapon to devastate the crops?
I heard something about that. I'm not sure if it's true. I don't know anything about it. I heard I just heard it. So what?
Huh. Well, honestly, I just saw it. I was passing by. And
No,
I
what was your
felt
point
like
to saying
everyone
that,
should
though?
know about it. Huh? The point saying it?
Uh-huh.
Something like shit's gonna go down soon. That's it.
You think China hasn't been smuggling things into this country and us into their country for longer than you or I have been alive?
Oh, they definitely have.
Then why is this different?
Oh, it ain't. It's just that it's finally getting seen by the public.
No, it's just got caught once.
Yeah, and the public's finally seeing it.
If the public didn't know that was happening, the public is stupid.
Well, on one hand, I agree with you, but on the second hand, it's also going to get covered up. Our government's probably in on it too.
Yeah, I know that our government would be. I know that our government is smuggling things into China. That's not hidden. It would be very disappointing if I found out that they weren't.
You know,
dude, what do you think like counterintelligence is? Like, you do realize that we have like entire groups of our government that is literally us like spying and doing espionage in like other countries, and then they all have the same thing in their countries trying to do it in ours. Like that the entire like all of us have entire like agencies in our government that's their entire job. Did you not know that? Are you saying something? Because I cannot hear you.
I said No, I understand that, and yes, I already knew about the counterintelligence. I'm just saying that it's funny to me that we're finally seeing it, like we're finally getting those little glimpses into it.
Sure, we've had counterintelligence labs or counterintelligence catches all the way through the 90s, through the Cold War, through World War II. We've caught things
I'm
like
talking.
this consistently throughout all of the U.S. history. What are you talking about?
What are you
Like, you ever heard of
talking
the
about?
Eisenbergs? Eisenbergs?
The
Rosenbergs?
Eisenbergs.
Is it the Eisenbergs or the Rosenbergs? I can't remember.
Heard of the Rosenbergs?
Ethel and... Oh, I forgot their names. Anyways, you ever heard of them?
Yeah.
And
Can't recall
what
too much about them though.
yeah, they Rosenbergs.
Wasn't
I
a
was right.
topic I
Okay.
delved too deep into.
Yeah, you know how like they were caught for espionage and they're the first people, the last people executed for it and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, now I remember. I
Yeah.
actually do remember that.
So yeah, again, catching people trying to do espionage shit is not abnormal for us.
No, I'm just saying that I feel like they're specifically doing that in order to get the public opinion towards a way that is disagreeable to China, getting us prepared to. I lost my train of thought.
Okay. Well, that's okay. So, anyways, do you have anything else?
Nah, that's it.
All
You
right,
have a
cool,
good
man.
one, bro.
Well, you have a good one. Bye bye. Yeah, I don't understand the whole like disagreeable to China thing. Like, you kind of should be already. Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. How old are you?
How old am I? Oh, I'm 45.
Awesome. Did you vote for Trump? Do you support him?
I support Trump. I didn't vote for Trump, but I do support Trump for the black community. You know.
You represent the black community. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm a black man. You know, I'm from Chicago.
Just because you're a black man doesn't mean you represent the black community.
I just.
I'm a black man. I don't represent the black community.
But I called you for a reason, because one of the things that I saw is kind of hypocritical of people is that what was this energy, you know, the last 4 years when America was being destroyed, when we had open borders, when everything was going to hell, a president could barely speak. I just want to ask you this question: do you think we had the best or the most competent president, Joe Biden? Do you think Joe Biden was a great president? How do you feel about him?
A great president? No, I think he was a good president.
So you think he was competent? You think he was he spoke very well, and you felt like he?
Sir, I don't judge my president off of whether you think that he can speak well.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, yeah,
what's the job? What is the job of the U.S. president?
Right. What is the job of the United States president?
Mm-hmm.
One of his job is to govern the United States in a manner where we're taken care of.
So how?
You said how?
Mm-hmm. How is he supposed to govern? I say he because it's always been a he.
He was supposed to. Well, let's say this: he was supposed to be the voice for the people. So when you're an elected official, one of the things that you should do is be the voice for the people.
Sir, you're just trailing up. You're going into this nice like little rhetoric and like all that sort of stuff, and that's very fine, all sort of stuff. But I want you to tell me. No, hold on, sir. Just stand by. Because we need to get to the bottom of this answer because the bottom of this before we move on.
Yeah, I'm not honest.
Yeah, okay. I can tell you're not understanding. Okay, you're saying he couldn't put like two sentences together, blah blah, whatever. Okay, I don't care personally. If our president has vocal cords.
Okay.
Personally, I really couldn't give a shit. Okay. The job of the president is to, like you said, govern. And I want to know how you expect them to govern. Because I agree with you on that one. I 100% agree with you on that. Okay. He is the head of the executive branch. He is the commander in chief. What is his job? Like what do you want a president to do?
Yeah. I want him to do what we want him to do. So it's about the people. So when you're an elected official, so when you're elected, let's be honest here. We, the people, it's not that person. He's supposed to do what we want him to do. It's not what he wants to do. See, I
Yeah.
don't understand
Well,
when you're saying
sir,
that
that's
I'm wrong
that.
with me saying what is the president supposed to do. Well, he's supposed to do a mandate of what we want him to do. We don't
Yeah,
want
that's
transgenders in the bathroom. We don't want transgenders in men's sports. It's certain things that we
who is
don't
we?
want.
Who is we?
The American people. What are you talking about?
No, that's just
Do you want?
you. Because I completely 100%
Oh,
disagree with you.
so you want men and men, so you're the type of guy that want men in women's
No,
bathrooms.
I'm not the
You're the
person.
type of guy that
Sir,
want men
stop
in
hollering.
women's sports.
Sir, stop
Oh, you're
hollering.
him.
Sir,
I
stop
know who I'm
hollering.
talking to.
No, I'm just not one to like be so afraid of the transgender community that I want my president to pass. Sir, I'm still speaking. Sir, I'm still speaking. Okay. I'm not the type of person to be so scared of the transgender community that I'm worried about the fucking president trying to make executive policy in order to demonize transgender people. Okay. I'm more than happy with saying that sports are more than capable of running sports for themselves. Okay. I don't need the NFL. I don't need the president of the United States deciding what's a catch in the NFL. Okay. And I sure as hell don't need them deciding who can play in the NCAA and who can't. That is for the sports to decide, not for the president to decide. As far as bathrooms are concerned, I'm under the very big impression that we should all go to all gender neutral bathrooms like most of the fucking world does, and most of the other places in the world that I've been to that just have gender neutral bathrooms. And honestly, the fact anybody who says that like transgender are going into like bathrooms to like hurt people, I really feel like that's just saying that that's what they would do. So that's kind of weird. Okay. No, no, sir. I go to the bathroom to take a shit. I don't go in the bathroom to worry about other people's genitalia.
So you want a man in a woman's bathroom,
sir? I don't care about anybody in anybody's bathroom. I think that all bathrooms should just be for everyone. Okay.
Okay. So
cool. So when I'm talking about the president, well, the president's job is to protect American citizens. Okay. That's the first job of the president, to protect American citizens. Okay. I want the military to be properly used in order to protect the national security interests of our country. Right. And I want it to serve the best interest of the United States. And then the second thing is I want policy, right? I want policy for things that go back to the United States citizens, right? Things that we can see, things that we can do, right? I'll give a great example for that, right? Barack Obama had great policy domestically, right? He inherited the country right after a recession and right after the 2008 housing crash, right? And by the time he left office, we had our economy buzzing at like full speed, right? Domestically, we had our economy just screaming through. We had freaking, now, granted, there were some certain things that Obama did, internationally, putting out red lines that he didn't hold to, stuff like that I don't agree with. But at the end of the day, and, I don't agree with things like the Afghanistan war and stuff like that, so there's certain things that I disagree with also, but he governed, right? He made sure policy was passed through Congress. He promoted policy, he promoted executive action that governed for the United States. And I can say the same thing about Joe Biden. We had COVID, right? So which was the largest economic disaster since the Great Depression, right? And he got it like right when we were reopening from COVID, when the world inflation rate was at 10.5%, and he recovered us faster than any industrialized nation. Right. We went from, a 9.2% inflation rate down to below 3%, at a certain point. You know what I'm saying? Really, really good. We had record unemployment. We had policy like the Infrastructure Act, like the Inflation Reduction Act, like the Chips and Sciences Act. We had major pieces of policy that went back to the American people. And we were actually fighting in less wars by the time that he left than we were then by the time he took office. Right. So these are all things that we are governing that is very, very helpful to the United States. It's directly for the United States and all things that American citizens, I believe, want. So what problem exactly did you have with the job that Joe Biden did?
Well. Here's the thing, man. I'm just really trying to understand your mind state, because it's as if the last 4 years it's like you haven't seen the decline of this guy. This guy is a pedophile. He was sniffing.
Sir,
kids.
stop.
Come on, man.
Stop.
Sir,
first of all, stop, sir, be quiet.
Come on.
First of all, let me be very, very clear. Sniffing someone does not make you a pedophile. Okay? So let's be clear. I don't know if you know what that is or not. Okay? Sir, be quiet. Yeah, like I don't just have two brain cells fighting for third. Okay? So sniffing someone doesn't make them that, okay? Now, Donald Trump brags about, going to try to look at underage girls naked. You don't understand that, right?
Well,
Donald Trump on
okay.
television bragged and said, "I get to go backstage to go look at underage girls naked." Donald Trump did that.
Yo, listen.
No, I'm not listening. Respond to what I said.
Okay, can you repeat that one more time? I just want to be clear. I want to make sure I'm answering the right question. Can you repeat that question one more time?
You literally are saying you voted for someone who sexually assaulted someone who brags about going into going into locker rooms to see underage girls naked, and you're saying that somebody sniffing someone makes them a PDF file. That's really weird. Okay.
Okay. So let me answer that question. He was acquitted. Of
what?
That did not. They did not persecution. They did not. He did not get convicted of that, so we can get past that.
No, but he was adjudicated in a court, was he not?
Okay, yeah. Well, you make a great point, but let's
hold on. Was he adjudicated in a court to have sexually assaulted someone? Yes or no?
Can we get that? Can we get back down to the?
No, we can stay right where we're at. Was he or was he not adjudicated in a court of law unanimously by a jury of his peers to have sexually assaulted someone?
Okay, I'm going to agree with you on that one. But let's be honest. You mean to sit here? You're going to tell me you're live on live? You're telling everybody that we had a great president.
I didn't.
Sniffing kids is okay,
sir. Perfect, sir. First of all,
what type of guy are you,
sir? First of all, I specifically did not say that Joe Biden was a great president. I said he was a good president.
But you've
already you asked me, sir. You asked me, was Donald Trump a great president? And I said no. Or sorry, Joe Biden. You asked me, sir. You asked me, is Joe Biden a good president? And I said no. I don't think he was a great president. Sir, stop talking. Awesome. You asked me if I thought that Joe Biden was a great president, and I specifically said no. I said I thought he was a good president.
Go to the comments. Go to the comments.
Sir, I don't need the comments to know what I said. I am very much in within my own capacity. Okay.
Yeah.
So again, second of all, the fact that you have to try to make
sir, telling you right now,
sir, do you have some self-control issues?
Bro, you said Joe Biden was a good president.
I did, and I just said that. You said that I said he was a great president, which I did not say.
I said, do you think? When I first got on the phone, I said, do you think Joe Biden was a competent and he was a good president?
No, you did not.
You know what? I think he was. You said
no, yes. Sir. You did not. You said, sir. I don't care about the comments. If you want to talk to the comments, then go back to them.
Well,
okay, awesome. You said, do you think, sir? You said, do you think Joe Biden was a great president? And I said, no, I do not think that Joe Biden was a great president. I do think that he was a good president.
Even the fact of the matter that you say he was a good president, what are the good things that Joe Biden did for us?
I've literally already named 4. Are you not part of this conversation? I've literally been up here explaining the good things that Joe Biden did. I literally talked about the policy that was passed. I literally talked about the metrics that happened within the economy. I've literally been talking about the good things that Joe Biden did for the last 5 to 7 minutes. Where have you been?
Bro, I gotta say something to you, man. And
no, can you just answer my question? Where have you been? Because it sounds like you're not actually paying attention to this conversation. Which in that case, I'll just move on to somebody that can. Because honestly, this is not like a helpful or profitable conversation whatsoever to me. This is very boring.
Are you afraid of real conversations?
No, sir. I'm looking for real conversation, and you're not providing that. So can you please respond to what I said?
So when you're asking me, do I feel that Joe Biden is a good president?
I didn't ask you that, sir. Respond to what I just said.
No, what? Can you repeat that? I couldn't understand.
No, I'm not repeating myself. Either respond or I know you're not paying attention.
I don't understand what you're upset. It sounds
I'm not upset at all, sir. I am trying to run a live, and you're not very good at having a conversation.
Yeah, but it sounds like you're very angry right now.
If that's your feelings, then that's okay. But you have exactly 3 seconds to respond to what I said, or I'm just going to move on to a guest that actually has all of his brain cells.
You won't let anyone get their point across, but you can get your point across.
1.
That's crazy, man. Crazy.
Goodbye. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you just laughing hysterically at nothing is just not fun for anybody to listen to. Gingy, thank you so much for the super chat. I can't put that on the screen, but thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was just a waste of breath. Hello, how are you?
Hey, I was just watching you for one. I am going to at least get into how you feel about everything right now. So,
First of all,
one,
stop. How
I
old are
do
you?
not like him. I am 29.
Awesome. Did you vote for Trump?
No,
Do
I
you
actually
support
did
Trump?
not vote this time. Not everything I support. Very few select things he's ever done, and very few select quote unquote, I would say, good things. But obviously, personal opinion is personal opinion.
Okay, so why are you here?
I wanted to know how you felt about these things in tandem when I say I feel about them a certain way, just to gauge your mindset, because I'm going to continue watching you. I'm actually intrigued. Someone's actually competently speaking on someone who I fully support is fucking up this country and will continue to fuck up this country.
Well,
And
I
for once it
completely
feels
agree with you, man, and thank you so much. I do want to talk to people that actually support Trump, though. That way, I can have like the back and forth banter, so I don't sit in an echo chamber. But I do really appreciate you, right, man?
fair. Can I bring up the one thing I did think he did well? One of the
Sure,
major
go
things
ahead.
that
Just make it
happened.
quick.
Okay, lived in Kentucky for a bit, realized it was shit down there due to the coal mine shutdowns from Obama. While I was down there, I also experienced people I lived with having to go through the Obamacare situation. Unfortunately, one of roommate's father, who owned the building, his coverage, whatever he had, was shut out because of that. And I believe they reopened after Obamacare was, I guess, flipped back or whatever happened during Trump's time in office. So I was like, okay. I mean, not
I have
having
no
to
idea. What are
afford
you saying that Trump
have
did?
stuff.
Sorry, I'm so lost. What are you saying Trump did
I
well?
could be. I believe he was the one who went from how Obamacare was being instated. I believe he reverted it, if I'm not mistaken.
Are you talking about the mandate, the
I
Obamacare mandate?
believe
Because that
so.
wasn't Trump. That was well before Trump.
No, it wasn't.
No, that was well before Trump.
Damn. Okay, I heard about it happening roughly around the time he was in office. I guess I just heard in on it late. That's kind of my bad.
Yeah, you're
I'm
talking about the
willing to admit
Obamacare
that.
mandate. That was taken away well before Trump. That was taken away by the Supreme Court. But all right, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
go ahead.
right, cool, man. Well, have a good
Appreciate
one. All
it.
right.
You too.
Yeah. No, I don't. No, he didn't. Yeah. No, he tried to repeal Obamacare. That's all he did. Oh my goodness. It's funny counting the missed calls I have at the end of this. All right. Well, phone lines are back open. I don't know what's going on. They're freaking... Hello.
Hello?
Oh, you're a child. Hello.
Hello?
Hi. How old are you?
Sorry.
Hello.
Hello?
Hi. How old are you?
Hi, I'm 27.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Do you want to suck my dick?
Not particularly. Do you support Trump? Huh. I don't know why people hang up before they even get a chance to for me to answer the question. All right. Well, let's try the phone calls for a second. I don't know what's going on. Hello, welcome to live. How are you today?
Yeah, fuck you, faggot. Biden's a child molester. Fuck you, faggot.
Is that all you got? You got it off your chest there, sweetheart?
Yeah, you fucking pussy ass faggot. Suck my dick, nigga.
Are you done now?
Fuck you, faggot. Kill yourself.
How does it feel not having parents that loved you?
I did have parents that love me, boy.
Oh, that's surprising. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, how old are you?
23.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Not necessarily. I just disagree with the prompt. I don't think he's destroying America.
All right, why not?
Well, I feel like, what do you categorize that he's doing that's destroying America?
I just don't understand.
No, sir,
why
you made a
think
positive
that.
claim. You said you do not believe in that my prompt is correct. Why not?
Well, one, the stock market has yet to crash. Nothing has yet to crash. No, although the economy is not exactly great, it's not really much worse than it was under Biden. I don't see how America is being destroyed in any shape, way, or form.
So, sir, you're saying that it's already been destroyed, and that's not my claim.
I don't think it's destroyed. I just don't think it's.
No, I
in a
don't
great
believe
spot
it's
right now.
destroyed either. I said it's being destroyed. Those are two very different things. If the stock market had already crashed and we were already in World War III, then America would have already been destroyed. But I put destroying because he's in the process of doing it.
Okay, and do you think it's just Trump alone that's destroying America, or do you think it's all politicians?
I think it's Trump and those that are loyal to him that put, Trump and his party, the MAGA party, over the needs of America.
Okay, so I'm confused. So why is Trump destroying America but Biden not? Because I feel like if we're going to say Trump is destroying America, we also have to say Biden.
What was Biden doing to destroy America?
Are we not going to talk about the huge inflation that we have yet to bring back down to normal prices?
The Biden administration on the reopening of COVID, the inflation rate was 9.2%. By the time Biden left, it was like at 3%. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the inflation of prices of goods.
Yeah, prices of goods don't deflate.
Yes, they can.
Yeah, it's not good though.
It's happened before, and
it shouldn't.
Why should
even Donald Trump said he doesn't have the ability to deflate prices? What drives prices?
Supply and demand.
Supply and demand. The free market, is that another way of saying that?
Yeah.
Okay, so what does the president have to do with that?
I'm not talking about the president. I'm talking about his administration, and then also the Senate and the Congress that he.
All right,
control.
take all of them.
Laws and regulation that they can pass laws and regulation that could help shift the market into that direction. Well, I'm not sure exactly on what laws they can pass to do so, but I know that it's possible.
What would you like the law to? What would you like the law to say or do?
Well, more endorsements for specific, maybe more local businesses to help them challenge bigger businesses by helping them keep more money while keeping a shorter price.
Yeah, gotcha. So if you're saying you want to support more local businesses, are local businesses usually more expensive or cheaper than large corporations?
Well, that depends what kind of local businesses you're going to and for what item. But usually, sometimes it could even be more expensive.
No, it's almost always more expensive. Okay,
if you give,
sir, the reason why is because being able to produce things on a mass scale is cheaper than being able to produce things on a small scale, for generally speaking, right? So small businesses are almost always more expensive, right? So if you want to pass laws that can encourage more, buying from small businesses, what you're actually saying is that you want prices to be higher.
No, you misunderstood what I said.
All right, well then maybe explain it better because
correctly. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that they can endorse local businesses so they can bring down, so they can have enough money, so they're able to bring down the prices without getting completely swamped out. That way they can challenge the bigger market, right? So it would be the opposite of what you're saying.
Yeah, and so when you're talking about
give them money to,
so when you're talking about actually
give them money to just overly produce, I'm talking about giving them enough grants so they can bring down their prices so more people can buy into theirs.
Yeah, so that would be a policy that was actually under the Harris administration where she wanted to subsidize small businesses. Okay, where Donald Trump's policy is to freaking give large tax cuts to major corporations.
Well, honestly, I'm for tax cuts for major corporations as well.
So you don't care about those small businesses?
I do care about those small businesses, but if you're giving large tax cuts to large corporations, you should also be giving very similar tax cuts for smaller corporations.
Gotcha. So if you give large tax cuts to small corporations, if you give large tax cuts to small corporations, you give large tax cuts to large corporations, who benefits more?
Well, obviously the bigger corporations are going to benefit more because they're going to save more money.
So gotcha. So if you give large tax cuts to major corporations and you also give large taxes to small corporations, and the large corporations benefit more, then what does that mean for the small businesses?
It's going to be the same thing that it means right now. They're going to be in in the same type of competitions where the bigger businesses is always going to outperform the small businesses. I understand that, but what I'm saying, I'm pro tax cuts in general for everybody in any business.
Sir. You've now like full circled yourself into making no sense. Okay. You said hold on, stop, sir, stop. I haven't even said anything besides you went in a circle. Okay, that wasn't. I didn't say that you said that. So okay, you said, "Hey, I want the government to support bringing down prices." I said, "Okay, how do you do that?" You said, "I want them to subsidize small business." I said, "Okay, how do you want them to do that?" Then you said, "Oh, I want them to do stuff to make sure that they can have lower prices. All right, so they can compete." I said, "Okay, how do you do that?" You're like, "By giving them tax cuts." And then I tell you that freaking the Democratic Party's entire platform was to give those smaller businesses tax cuts while taxing large corporations more. And I said the Republicans one is to give larger tax cuts to the large businesses, to the which you said you want them to have large tax cuts, which again, by your own admission, by giving the large corporations, stop, hold on, I'm almost there. By giving large tax cuts to large corporations, you are hurting the small businesses and then taking away their ability to compete with them on the larger market. So literally you said you want to support small businesses by hurting small businesses by giving large tax cuts to corporations, which is the exact opposite of that. And even on top of all of that, not a single one of those things, not a single one of any of those things that you've said or that I've said or any of like this entire conversation helps to lower the prices of a single thing. Not a single thing.
But that is not what I said. You said that what you're saying that I said is that I want them to give more tax cuts to local businesses. That's not what I said in the first place.
I said subsidize. I didn't say larger tax cuts.
But I'm saying things like grants and endorsement deals and things like that. Things that like what they had going for the EVs.
Sir, that's what a subsidy is. That's exactly what I said you said.
No, you said that I said to give them tax cuts.
No, I said the Democratic Party wants to give them tax cuts. I said you said you wanted to subsidize them. You need to keep up, sir. None of that lowers the prices.
Okay, so what do you think would lower the prices?
What do I think is low? I already told you that we're not lowering the prices.
So you think the prices are going to stay inflated forever? Because that's, like I said, prices have gone down before. So you think that it just takes time?
No, I don't think the prices are going down. I think that we need to freaking make sure that people have enough money to keep up with the prices.
So what you're saying that people's wages need to increase?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, and how do you plan on making wages increase?
How do I plan on it? I'm not in the government. I don't have a plan.
Okay, but my point is, all right, so if you think wages need to increase, which we all do, how are big businesses supposed to do that? Because most people work for big businesses. How are big businesses supposed to increase wages without these big tax cuts?
Big tax cuts don't make businesses increase wages.
They could.
They don't.
Now, obviously, a lot of big businesses take those tax cuts and take those extra profits and they just give it all to the executive. I understand that.
They all do that.
No, you can't categorize all of them together. That's not fair.
No, we can just look at the data from all of them and see that they all do that.
And you can look at the data and you can see that there may be a majority do, but not all do. You can't just generalize like that. That's
Sir, who doesn't?
Because there are business.
Who doesn't?
Let's say Home Depot.
Home Depot does it. We know that Home Depot freaking gives the money in stock buybacks and back to their CEOs. We know that they do that. That's not like
I know that they do that, but while I was working at Home Depot, while they were doing that, they were also giving people their raises on their wages. Right? When I started at Home Depot, I started at $11. This was a couple years ago. I don't work there anymore, but I started at $11. And then when they got a bunch of extra profit from Donald Trump's first term in office, not only did the CEOs and all that get wage bucks, but so did the regular associates like myself. I went from 11 all the way to 1450 in the span of a year and a half.
Okay, is there a possibility that had nothing to do with the tax cuts?
But can you also agree with the possibility that if we don't give them tax cuts, they're not going to be able to have enough profit to give people wages?
Absolutely not, because we already see that corporations don't give tax cuts based off of don't give raises based off of tax cuts. It doesn't happen. So just because, sir, do you know the difference between a causation and correlation?
Yeah, I do.
What's the difference in causation and correlation?
Causation and correlation. Causation. So pretty much one is that something happens and something else happens directly because of it, and then something, and the other one is something happens, and just because that happens and this happens doesn't mean that they're necessarily connected. It just means that both things happen.
Correct. So can you show me that because of corporate tax cuts, you got a raise, or are you just saying you got a raise and also there was corporate tax cuts?
Well, that's a good point. I can't necessarily prove that because there's corporate tax cuts that is the reason why I got the raise. It just happened at the same time.
Yeah, so there's a
You know,
strong
that's a
possibility
fair
that
point.
without
No,
those
it's a fair
corporate
point.
tax cuts, you still would have gotten that raise. Actually, there could have been a
I
corporate
don't
tax.
believe so.
Well, you cannot believe it, sir. But there's a possibility that they could have had corporate tax raises, and you still would have gotten a raise.
But by that same argument, that argument's invalid because that doesn't really. You're not disproving that I got the raise without. You're not proving that I could have gotten that raise without it.
Yeah, because sir, but sir, I can prove that though. I can
Okay,
prove
how?
that because we see
prove
all
it.
the money that Home Depot got from tax cuts, and we see how much that was actually given in stock buybacks and into raises for their CEOs, and we see that money matches. So we see that all the money that they got from those corporate tax cuts went to their CEOs and went to the stock buyback, so it didn't go to you.
Okay. And how much did it go? And then where did that money that they allocated to giving employees raises? Because it wasn't just me. It was in my store and
people just get raises, sir.
Where did that money come from?
I've gotten raises in all sorts of jobs, all the way across the book, regardless of corporate tax raises.
Let me explain to you how Home Depot works.
Sir, I don't want to know how Home Depot works. That sounds like the most boring. No, sir, I don't want to know. Sir, I don't want to know. Okay, because that sounds very, very boring. Okay.
Okay, but it correlates to this argument.
No. I don't want to know how Home Depot works. Okay, sir. What I'm saying is we know, okay, based off of their tax data, where that money went from the corporate tax cuts. We know that none of that money trickled down to you. Okay, that's what's called trickle down economics, and we know it didn't work. Okay, sir. Again, causation versus correlation.
Brother, you cannot disprove that had nothing to do with it.
Sir, it's not my job to prove. Sir, it's not my job to disprove it. You are making the claim that because of it, you got a raise. It's your job to prove it. It's not my job to disprove your lack of correlation or your lack of causation.
That's insane. No, that's insane. You're saying, oh, that I bring up a point and you're just like, oh.
Sir, I already proved my point, sir. Sir, I already proved my point. Yes, I did, sir. Because when you look at I already showed you that when you look at Home Depot's tax cuts, right? That money went to their CEOs. It went to stock buybacks. That money's already provable that it did that. So I already proved that the corporate tax cuts did not make your way down to your raise. Okay, that's already proven. Okay.
Maybe a majority of the tax.
No, none of it did. Not a single fucking dollar.
Could you imagine this? That maybe the tax, because the money they saved on the tax cuts went to the CEO, that they were able to pull the money from another place in their budget to give to the associates.
How does giving a CEO a raise open up someplace in your budget?
Because they're going to give the CEO raises regardless. But when you give them the tax cuts, then it allows them to use taxes. Maybe
I'm not speaking this in English. So let me try this again. Okay. Maybe I can just show this because there's a ridiculous argument now. Okay. If we show in the tax cuts, okay, and we're just gonna make up a number just so we can just make this easy. Okay. If I show in the tax cuts, because of the tax cuts, they got $32 million, right, in tax cuts. Right. Mm-hmm. And then I can show that every single dollar of that 32 million went into stock buybacks and CEO raises. If I can show that every single dollar went into that, okay, then there is no other money for that to trickle down to you as a raise. There is none.
There is no more money from the tax cut itself.
Right.
But when you're taking the money from the tax cuts and putting it to the CEO's raises, you do realize that frees up the budget that they were going to give to the CEO raises anyway.
No, sir, that was in addition to the raise they were already getting.
Where's your proof?
In their taxes.
Where's your proof? So you have proof that not only were they going to get the raise that they were going to get that year, but they got the additional raise.
No, but we can already see where the raise was already what their raises were already.
You can see what the raises were.
You realize this is all public record, right?
I do realize it's all public.
Okay, then why are you arguing it with me?
No, because I'm talking about budget managing. You give them a huge tax cut, they save a huge lump sum of money, and yeah, that lump sum of money could have gone to the CEOs. So then that frees up money in their budget.
Sure. This has been proven over and 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 over for fucking 40 years. Giving corporations tax cuts does not cause raises for lower employees. Period. In dot. Okay, sir. If you got a raise, it's probably because you earned a raise. Okay. It wasn't. Sir, stop talking. Sir, stop talking. Really, truly, because this is the most ridiculous argument. If you got a raise, it was just because you deserved a raise. That's all. Okay.
So
it's not because of Donald Trump. It's not.
The raise.
Sure, sir. I don't fucking know, sir. I don't care because you can't prove that happened. Okay.
I can prove that it happened. I have multiple people.
Okay, cool. Then show. Then go ahead and show me the data right now that shows that everyone in a certain district got a raise.
I can pull up witnesses. I don't know where to get the data.
You're going to pull me a witness from every single person in a district.
Brother, I could send you at least 5 to 10 contacts.
Awesome. And how many people work in a district?
Hundreds, but I don't know.
Okay, so do you going to give me contacts for all hundreds of them? Sir, are you going to give me contacts for all hundreds of them?
I don't know all of them.
Exactly. So again, sir, you cannot prove to me that every single person got a fucking raise. That is the exact point that I was making.
Well,
sir, stop.
In reality,
stop.
I really wanted to, I could.
Stop. You could not, sir. So again, sir, that's why this is a pointless argument, because you cannot prove to me what you're saying. Okay?
Wow, this is nonsense. This is absolutely nonsense.
No, sir, you're arguing for trickle-down economics with no dude. This is your entire argument. Sir, this is your entire argument. This is your entire argument. Sir, this is your entire argument. Sir. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fucking ridiculous.
This is your entire argument. There was a corporate tax rate and I got a raise. You have absolutely no proof that one caused the other whatsoever. And you just keep repeating it over and over and over and over. Nobody wants to hear this, okay? This is a completely fucking ridiculous argument. Sir, this is a completely ridiculous argument. Sir, this is a completely ridiculous argument. Sir, this is a completely ridiculous argument. Sir, I am very, very tired of hearing this argument go in circles. I hope you have a horrible day, okay, sir?
No, this is
Oh my goodness, that was so annoying. Anyways, I'm about to open the phone lines again. I'm going to go through some super chats really quick. Home Depot gave bonuses due to tax cuts. I know. I said that. Thank you for the super chat, though. Yo, if you guys would like to support the live, I do have super chats open. If you make a comment or something like that, I can put it up on the screen and we can have a lot of fun and talk about it and all that fun stuff. It'll be a really, really good time. Bad faith debating. That wasn't a debate. Do you guys know what a debate is? I don't think you guys know what a debate is. That wasn't a debate. That was just that dude saying something over and over and over and over and over into a circle, and that got boring. This isn't a debate. You guys need to learn what a debate is before you say it's bad faith debating. That's not debating. Okay? Hey guys, if you'd like to support the live, I do have super chats open. If you'd like to support, I will put them up on the screen and we can have a lot of fun and talk about them and all that sort of stuff. Second of all, if you guys would like support and you're on the TikTok side, if you guys would like to help me hit that sub goal and get that thing up to 215, that would really mean a lot. And second of all, I do have the little dragon heads and stuff like that. So if you guys would like support and hook those up, that would really mean a lot to me also. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to reopen up these phone lines. Hopefully we can get some good debates in here. I seem to be having I'm having a little problem with my YouTube right now. I might have to do a restart over there. We'll see what's up. Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you? Hello?
Hey, buddy. How's it going?
Hi. How old are you?
I'm 25.
Awesome. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I'm positive for 1 year. For 1 year, not this past year, but for the previous year. That's why I said yes, because I was thinking.
All right. Did you vote for Trump in the last election?
The previous election is two. Not the most recent. The previous one.
Who'd you vote for in the recent election?
Actually, I didn't.
Okay. So why are you here?
About this, to talk to the gentleman about the previous discussion. Just about a little bit of everything.
No, I don't want to do that. If you didn't vote to support Trump, then I'm only looking for counter arguments right now. I really appreciate that, but thank you so much. All right, we're gonna keep moving on. Do. I don't know what is going on today. We're in a lot of confusion over here. Hello.
Yeah. Wait.
Hello. Welcome to live. How are you today? Hello. Welcome to live. How are you today?
Hello.
Hi. How old are you?
I'm like 19, around there.
How old? What year were you born?
I was born. Okay, fuck
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I was warned ahead of time that the right is on one today. I usually get warnings from other people that are live that like whether if the right is on one that day. And I got a warning from the get-go before I even got online. It was just like the right is on one today. But that's okay. Calls have been weird since the last few days. Ever since I took a few days off, it's been very strange. But that's okay. We'll keep moving forward. All right, well, phone lines are open. We're gonna keep having some conversations. I might have to do a restart on the YouTube side. It's being very, very strange today. We'll see. Hello? 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 No, nothing? Yeah, I know. They're a little upset because they're because Trump and Elon are fighting. That's okay. Why ask age? Because I'm live on multiple platforms and there's an age requirement. That's why. Plus, would you guys want to hear me talk to children? It's very strange. All right, you guys. What the heck? You guys are weird. Oh my god. All right, I'm gonna do a quick restart on the YouTube side. Things are getting a little weird over there. I don't know what's been going on with my live the last couple days. It's been very, very weird, but that's all right.